probably helped save a life. Or perhaps helped keep a watchful eye on a neighborhood. Today, you probably helped put food on someone's table. Or help build a road that leads to a destiny. You may have even helped shape the minds of our future. By paying your taxes, you help keep critical medical staff in a job, a school to run, or a neighborhood safe, and a whole lot more. Your taxes help Zambia become better for you and me. Zambia Revenue Authority. My tax, your tax, our destiny.
Hello, thank you for joining us again on Tax Chat. My name is Alice Lungu, and today on the chat we are looking at Smart Invoice. The Ministry of Finance and National Planning, Dr. Stumbeko Msokotwani, officially launched a Smart Invoice on the 19th of March 2024. During the 2024 National Budget Address, Dr. Msokotwani announced the implementation of electronic invoice in Zambia, which will allow the Zambia Revenue Authority, ZRA, to receive real-time business transactions. He emphasized that the electronic invoice system is intended to prevent the use of fake invoice and to enable only qualifying entities claim deductions. In the year 2025 budget speech, the minister further pronounced the effect 1st January 2025 invoice issued outside a Smart Invoice will not be allowed for VAT import tax deductions. For this development, we have in studio is DORIS, CHRWA, MAWELE, and NTALASHA. I'll allow them to introduce themselves to pronounce their names correctly. Starting from my far left, Doris, your full names.
Thank you so much for having me, Alice. Good morning to our viewers. My name is Doris CHRWA MAWELE.
And from my immediate left.
Good morning, our viewers. Thank you, Alice. My name's KAUYA and NTALASHA, coming from Smart Invoice, here to present to you this morning.
Doris and NTALASHA, good to have you on Tax Chat.
Thank you so much for having us.
All right. To kickstart, following the full rollout of Smart Invoice, what updates does ZRA have regarding Smart Invoice? Doris.
So the Zambia Revenue Authority would like to remind the general public as well as the business community at large that following the full rollout of the Smart Invoice system, all taxpayers are encouraged to fully adopt the Smart Invoice system and to ensure continued compliance with VAT obligations. So what this means is that for taxpayers who are especially registered on VAT, they need to ensure that they issue smart invoices. And then for us as consumers, our obligation is to ensure that we always demand for a smart invoice whenever we purchase any goods or we access any services.
Okay. And NTALASHA, is there any an enforcement you needed to monitor the use of Smart Invoice?
That's a great question, Alice. So what the Zambia Revenue Authority has done is that it's created a dedicated enforcement team. So the enforcement team ensures compliance with Smart Invoice requirements. So what the enforcement team does is that they go into shops, outlets, and they ensure that people are using Smart Invoice. So we demand for Smart Invoices, dress as civilians, and we ensure that that shop is issuing out Smart Invoices in line with what's required in the law.
Okay.
So what is done for businesses that are found in violation of the law? Of course, fines are charged on those businesses. But primarily for ZRA, our focus is on enhancing compliance. That's why you'll see for ZRA were offering quite a range of compliance enhancement tools to our general public to ensure that we have an educated taxpayer base. So the first thing that we have is our dedicated Smart Invoice support staff. So these are on hand to offer support to taxpayers that are having any issues with Smart Invoice or failing to issue a Smart Invoice for one reason or another. The support team is on hand to assist with that. Then we also have our physical trainings that we do at the ZRA Training Center. These are held excuse me. These are held every Tuesdays and Thursdays. So we also ensure that we have scheduled webinars time and then to just update the taxpayers on what's new on Smart Invoice, the updates and refinements that ZRA has done with regards to Smart Invoice. So we also have our tutorial videos for those that are just getting to know about Smart Invoice, wishing to use it as their primary invoicing system in their businesses. These videos are found on our LinkedIn page, our Facebook page, as well as our certified ZRA YouTube page. So taxpayers are able to go on those platforms and access those videos and learn how to issue out Smart Invoices from those videos. So we also have outreach programs that we do to various communities. We segregate sometimes according to sectors. We call upon a sector and we also advise the sector on how to ensure compliance from their end as a business to ensure that Smart Invoice requirements are being adhered to. So our help desk, we have a help desk as well. We have our Smart Invoice email address where taxpayers can write to us with regards to issues with regards to Smart Invoice, scheduling of user acceptance testing for those on accounting packages and various other Smart Invoice issues. So we're also reachable on phone with our helpline, which is 4111. It's quite accessible to the general public. You can call that number and get the required assistance that they need. So primarily we get back to the aspect of accessing the guidelines and how to go about integrating for those with accounting packages. They can still access our website and access those documents to guide them on how to go about the integration process and the usage process of the various solutions on Smart Invoice. So the other aspect that we have is the failure to issue Smart Invoice, of course. It's the hot topic on the on the market. So for most of the taxpayers, I think that we find what we're using to support the law for failure to issue a Smart Invoice, it was provided for in the budget, in the budget announcement. So we're particularly paying focus to Section 7A, subsection 3, which were drawing powers with which to issue out the fines for failure to issue Smart Invoice. ZRA, that's the last option for us. We like to ensure voluntary compliance from our taxpayers. Because if taxpayers are paying their fair share of taxes, they'll be able to comply willingly, and we'll be able to see some reductions in the tax rate. So the failure to issue a Smart Invoice comes with the first fine. The first fine comes with an amount of 40,000, which is simply 100,000 penalty units times 40 ingwe, constituting the 40,000. And for the second fine, we have 200,000 penalty units at the same rate of 40 ingwe, giving us 80,000. Then for the third or subsequent offense on Smart Invoice, we have 300,000 penalty units at the rate of 40 ingwe, equating to the 120,000, or imprisonment of 3 years. So it's either or. It's quite steep.
Yeah, it is.
It's quite steep, Alice. So primarily that's what we are encouraging our general public to be voluntarily compliant. Let them use Smart Invoice. If they're having any issues, they can still reach out to us and we'll be able to assist them accordingly.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Doris, what enforcement measures is ZRA implementing that taxpayers need to know about?
Okay, so all invoices that are issued to customers need to be issued from the Smart Invoice system, and this is a requirement by law. Then for licensed filling stations, by law as well, they need to ensure that they issue Smart Invoices. So for fueling stations, they can capture invoices for business-to-business transactions as well as for business-to-customer transactions. For any other transactions that they may be able to make, which are outside the criteria that I have just mentioned, they can do one consolidated invoice at the end of each day or at the end of a shift. And then for taxpayers who are using approved accounting packages, these may choose to integrate their accounting packages with Smart Invoice so that those accounting packages can be able to communicate with Smart Invoice, and ZRA is able to capture the invoices that are being issued by the accounting packages that they are using, because as we know, parallel invoicing is not allowed. Then Zambia Revenue Authority has a list of approved vendors that are providing Smart Invoice integration solutions and approved invoicing systems. This list is available on the Zambia Revenue Authority website, which is www.zra.org.zm, and this list is updated almost on a daily basis. Yes, then for taxpayers, they need to cooperate with officers, ZRA officers, whenever they are visited. Okay, this is to ensure that our officers check to see whether they are actually registered on Smart Invoice or they are using the system. So theirs is to cooperate with the officers from Zambia Revenue Authority.
Okay. NTALASHA, accounting packages and enterprise resource planning systems previously approved for invoicing allowed for issuing invoices after the rollout of Smart Invoice.
So primarily we had our taxpayers on the EFDs, the electronic fiscal devices. So those had integrated before the rollout of Smart Invoice. So what we're saying now to our taxpayers is that you have to undergo the integration process with ZRA, because your accounting package needs to transmit specific information that is of interest to ZRA. So we are encouraging them to integrate with ZRA and let that accounting package speak that transactional information on that accounting package through to ZRA. That is what we are saying. So we're encouraging them to integrate with the existing packages.
Okay.
Yes.
In case you're just joining us, you are watching a tax chat, and today we are looking at a Smart Invoice. For now, we go on a break. We'll be right back. Don't.
Today, you probably helped save a life. Or perhaps helped keep a watchful eye on a neighborhood. Today, you probably helped put food on someone's table. Or help build a road that leads to a destiny. You may have even helped shape the minds of our future. By paying your taxes, you help keep critical medical staff in a job, a school to run, or a neighborhood safe, and a whole lot more. Your taxes help Zambia become better for you and me. Zambia Revenue Authority. My tax, your tax, our destiny.
Come back. You are watching Tax Chat, and today we are looking at a Smart Invoice. To help us look at that is DORIS and NTALASHA from Zambia Revenue Authority. Doris, how can one verify that an invoice is genuine?
So all invoices that are issued from the Smart Invoice system have a quick response code, commonly known as a CHRWA code. So this code enables taxpayers to verify the authenticity of an invoice that has just been issued using a mobile application.
Okay. And can Smart Invoice be used without internet connectivity?
Yes, primarily, Alice, we want the businesses to continue even without maybe they're experiencing network challenges, electricity challenges and the like. So Smart Invoice has an offline function, so the taxpayers are able to issue out invoices from Smart Invoice. But in the event of disruption, they're required to upload those invoices within a period of 72 hours or 3 days in short. So within that period, we expect those invoices to have been transmitted to ZRA and sitting on their smart invoice account.
Okay. So it's very much easier with or without connectivity.
Yes.
Everybody is able to access.
Okay. Just a caveat on that. For the online solution, of course, it's in the name. You have to be online for you to be able to transmit. So, of course, the taxpayers need to go online, then they'll be able to issue out those invoices.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does Smart Invoice support invoicing in multiple currencies, DORIS?
Yes, actually. Smart Invoice does support the issuance of invoices in multiple currencies. And you'll be happy to know that invoices can actually be issued in 5 major currencies. These are the United States dollar, the British pound sterling, euro, Chinese yen, and the South African rand. But it is worth noting that the Zambian kwacha is the default currency on Smart Invoice for prices that are sitting in the item management module. So in order to issue an invoice in another currency, you would have to change the default currency from Zambian kwacha to the currency that you want to use in order to issue an invoice in another currency.
Okay. Is it possible to make corrections to a transaction on Smart Invoice after a sale has been completed?
Yes. So the system is dynamic. It allows for adjustments. Of course, maybe you've sold something to someone. They're returning that good. Maybe you supplied them something damaged. So it allows for a credit note for the goods that are coming back. So you're able to do a partial credit note, a full credit note on Smart Invoice. Then also for upward adjustments, sometimes maybe you supplied a particular product, maybe the buyer wants more or more of that same item. They're able to issue a debit note to increase that value of what you've supplied. So upward and downward adjustments are possible for sales made on the Smart Invoice platform.
Yeah, okay.
Yes,
Your concluding remarks on Smart Invoice. I'll begin with you, Doris.
Okay, so we urge all Zambians to demand for a Smart Invoice whenever they buy goods or access any services. By doing this, you're helping to fight tax evasion as well as to ensure that there is fairness in the tax system. And you're also helping the government as well to meet its goals and targets in the education sector, the health sector, agriculture, to mention but a few. So for us as Zambia Revenue Authority, the word going out to our taxpayers is ensure that you issue a Smart Invoice, and for consumers, please demand for a Smart Invoice whenever you buy goods or you access any services.
Okay. Your concluding remarks, NTALASHA, on the Smart Invoice?
Yes, my concluding remarks to the general public is just to reach out to us. We understand maybe you might be experiencing some difficulties, but it's difficult for the authority to help on an issue that they are not aware of. So make us aware of the challenges that you're facing. Reach out to us. We have our hotline, the 4111, so 4111. We have our Smart Invoice email address, smartinvoice@zra.org.zm, and you're able to access our website on www.zra.org.zm. So these platforms are there for taxpayers to access and for them to seek the needed help that they require for them to be compliant, as we are contributing to the national development and accountability of Zambia.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, Doris and NTALASHA, it's been a pleasure having you on Tax Chat.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. We've come to the end of the show. I believe you've learned one or two things about a Smart Invoice. Don't forget to join us again next time, same place, same time. For now, it's bye-bye. Remember, it's my tax, your tax, our destiny.
Today, you probably helped save a life. Or perhaps helped keep a watchful eye on a neighborhood. Today, you probably helped put food on someone's table. or help build a road that leads to a destiny. You may have even helped shape the minds of our future. By paying your taxes, you help keep critical medical staff in a job, a school to run, or a neighborhood safe, and a whole lot more. Your taxes help Zambia become better for you and me. Zambia Revenue Authority. My tax, your tax, our destiny.